Hey everybody, it's Katie. My almost 3-year-old is almost ready to potty train. And so we have spent some time scouring the internet looking at potty training gear. So today we're going to talk about our favorite gear and what that looks like, and then also ask for some help from you guys on what your favorite gear is. As I said in the beginning, we are getting ready to start potty training my almost 3-year-old. We've potty trained our oldest, who is now 7, and she's fully potty trained, obviously, no accidents. But so we've done this once before, but I kind of went about it just sort of off the cuff. Like, I didn't really do a whole lot of research or looking into, the best way to do it, or here's, the potty train in 3 days with our manual or whatever. Like, I was just kind of like, here's a potty, here's a jelly bean, like, what could be so hard? And I feel like it could have been a little bit easier had I spent a little bit more time maybe reading a book or even just looking around to see what other moms were doing. But it's because I was like, how hard can this be? She's interested in the potty, like, it's time, let's do this. Now, we did have some gear with my oldest that worked out really well, which will make a debut in this video with some of our gear ideas. But we also found some other good ideas that I will probably end up using when we take the plunge with my baby to start potty training her. So as we were researching this, we kind of broke it down into categories. And the first category I want to talk about is kind of like tools and gadgets and, sort of the getting ready stage. Now, there's lots of books out there about potty training, both for the adult to read about their little, and then also for the adult to read to their little to kind of help them understand like what's going to be happening. Because I was looking at one book for adults, learning how and about the whole thing with pottying. And I guess it's been a really long time since I potty trained, but apparently there can be a little bit of weirdness, like when you flush the toilet and the poop disappears. It's like, but wait, that was a part of me and now it's gone. Where did it go? I want it back. Never mind that it's gross, right? So it's kind of interesting because it sort of gives you, reading these books sort of gives you maybe a little bit more of a window into what it's like to be tiny and completely irrational about things like pottying. Everything that we're going to talk about today is going to be in the description below. So if you hear something that I'm talking about and you're like, ooh, that sounds kind of cool, go ahead and go down to the description and we'll have links. A lot of them are Amazon links, and you can go and look at that, and then you can also go down all kinds of rabbit trails and holes because Amazon's amazing. So next on the list for tools and gadgets are going to be potty training sets. They have one that's a pirate and they have one that's a princess. So, that could go, whatever. My daughters would probably enjoy both, to be honest. But they are going to be like a set. It's a kit, basically. It's got stickers and it's got all this reward type stuff. And so that is a great tool if you want to go the route with stickers and with the rewards, and that works really well for some kids, including mine. Now, I'm not here to get into the debate about whether or not you should give them stickers or jelly beans or whatever. I don't care, you do you. But if you're interested in this type of thing, these are super cute. Next category is on the potty. Now, we have had actually probably 4 or 5 different types of little potties, but I think that this little potty is probably my favorite. My youngest daughter, when I got it, I actually got it from one of my best friends. Her daughter potty trained on it because she was so enchanted with the fact that it's essentially a little tiny miniature toilet. It looks like a toilet, it's shaped like a toilet, it has a battery operated thing that when you flush it makes a flush noise. So it's pretty fancy. And so when I first brought it home, my youngest was like, whoa! She was enamored. Next on the list for the gear, once they've actually started pottying, now there's a couple different ways you can go. You can go with what I just mentioned. You can get them their own little potty, or you can get the actual the rubber seat that fits onto your toilet with a stool. And I think that's kind of up to you. I feel like it's a little bit less daunting to have something that they can actually sit on and stand up from. But again, it's totally up to you. But there is something called a Baby Bjorn training little potty chair, and that's another one that they can sit down on. And that one's cool too, because you could put that in the back of your car, which we don't have that specific one, but as we were potty training my oldest, we drove around with a little hot pink mini potty in the back of my car for, I don't know, a while. Because, kids, you're like, okay, it's time to go. And then, I don't know, you've got 97 bags and it's hot or it's raining and they're like, I have to go pee. Or, I don't know. Perfect, great, here. So we definitely utilized that quite a bit. That was very handy. The next one I want to talk about is super cute. I don't have boys, so this is really interesting to me, and it looks fantastic. I'm pretty sure my husband would get a kick out of it too, but it's a training urinal, and it's got like the little frog, and it has a little tongue that it spins, and it's perfect for like aim practice, right? I think that's super cute, and I think it's a really fun idea because it gives little boys something to aim at once they're ready to stand up and start taking aim. Another thing for on the potty that I've definitely got to mention is wipes. Now, I'm sure that most of you have heard not to flush baby wipes. Just don't do it. I was actually reading something about this, I don't know where it was somewhere, the city or someplace that had this horrible backup in their system, and they ended up having to go in and do all kinds of nuclear crap to get it out or whatever, and it turns out that the majority of it was baby wipes. So they don't break down. Now, you can buy flushable wipes. So if you're the type who is like, I just want to throw it all in the toilet and get it done with after I help them wipe their bottom, buy the flushable wipes. If you're okay with making sure to get it in the trash, regular wipes are fine. But I think that the reason that baby wipes are so good when you're potty training your little one is toilet paper can sometimes peel a little bit, or it gets like, it fluffs and leaves stuff there. And I think it's also a little bit difficult for them to maneuver toilet paper. I don't know. I feel like wipes are a little bit easier. They're probably going to get a little bit more off of their bottoms and that type of thing. So it's nice to have flushable wipes or some sort of baby wipe close by for them to help kind of start learning how to wipe. I mentioned this just a few minutes earlier, and this is a toilet trainer seat. It's the rubber seat that sits on top of your toilet. If you're going to go this route, unless your baby is a giant, you're also going to need a step stool of some sort because they're probably not going to be tall enough to comfortably get up onto the potty. They would probably try, like my youngest likes to try to monkey herself on top of it, but it's easier just to have the step stool. Plus, I think it gives them a little bit more control of the situation instead of feeling like they're stuck on top of the toilet. So the toilet trainer seat, that's a good option, especially as they get a little bit older, because it also helps keep their little tiny buns from falling into the toilet. If you go that route, again, like I mentioned, a stool is going to be really important, but also keep in mind that as you're training them how to go potty, who knows? They're probably going to get all kinds of stuff on their hands, and you too. So the stool also should be, movable enough for them to move it over so they can wash their hands, because that's another great thing that as you're teaching them this every single time. The next category is mistakes. Oopsies, I made a mess. That type of thing. So most of you are familiar with the training pants, the little training underwear. I think you can even get them at Costco now. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can. So Costco was carrying Toy Story because it's this new movie, right? And it had Buzz and it had Woody, and those are for the boys, right? So the little boy is wearing his training pants and he's like, Mom, look it's Woody. And he's pointing. And the mom was like, Dear Costco, please reconsider placement of the cowboy on the training pants. Oh, I died. Next in the mistake category is something that I don't think any parent should be without as you are toilet training your baby, especially as you are letting them go into the evenings and go through the night, because that's a scary first couple nights, or let's be honest, that's kind of nerve-wracking at first. And that is a mattress pad. It's like a washable mattress pad, and we've, again, link below. I have two, and they're currently on my oldest daughter's bed, because what we do is we do a mattress pad, sheet, mattress pad, sheet. So if she has an accident in the middle of the night, instead of having to wait for me to make the whole bed up again, we pull off the sheet, we pull off the mattress pad, and she gets right back into bed. So we have a couple of those, and I'll do the exact same thing with my youngest as we are potty training her, but that will protect your investment, because mattresses, when they start sleeping on big kid mattresses, that's an investment. You can also do a full cover if you want to do that. I find those are a little bit hot, and if you live in a hot climate, that can be a big deal. But anyway, somehow figure out how to protect your mattress. Next category is travel. So when you're traveling and you are potty training, I would say don't potty train and travel if you can avoid it. I mean, that's just not fun. But so let's say you're past the initial potty training phase and you've got to go somewhere. So it's safest to have your gear in the car and be able to pull over at a moment's notice if your kiddo is like, I have to go pee, even if you asked them 5 minutes before you left the house, and no, that was the story of my life for a little while. But the first thing is to have some sort of travel potty. I don't actually think that the travel potty has to be specifically a travel potty. I think that pretty much anything will work, really. The only thing that I would say is have sort of a wider base. Obviously, you don't want something too narrow and it'll tip over, but I think as long as it has a wider base and then a little cup that you can take out and throw out, which is what we did. I think pretty much anything will work, but prepare to have that in the back of your car or stuffed in the trunk along with a container of wipes, so then when they go to the bathroom, you dump it out, you wipe it out, and you're good to go. And like I said, we did this for quite some time as my oldest learned how to respond to her cues of like, oh, I think I actually need to go potty. And it was, I have a funny memory of sitting in the parking lot at the grocery store with her sitting on her potty, just completely oblivious to the fact that there were people walking by and smiling, and she's just sitting there in her little pink dress, with it pulled up like Another thing that's been really helpful for us, or was helpful for us in the past, and we still have it, is it's a travel pad. It's like a car seat protector, and essentially it just goes in the base of the car seat and goes up a little bit in the back in case there's a major accident, but it protects your car seat from having pee or worse on it, and it's washable, and hopefully you don't ever need it, but on the day that you do need it, you're really glad you have it. Lastly, in the travel section is a portable potty seat. Now, again, not a necessity, but it's super nice. There's one in here, and in the links below you'll see, and it has a little hook, and you can either hang it on the wall or you can hang it from the top of the toilet. Another kind of portable potty seat that's on here that'll be in the links below is one that's a sort of a space saver, folds up. So again, there's a lot of different options. You just find what works best for you and whatever kind of vehicle you have. That's it for gear. Now, what I want to know from you guys is, what's your favorite gear? If you've got something that you've used and you've really, really liked, leave it in the comments, because like I said, am going to be potty training my youngest here. It'll probably be anywhere from the next month or 2 to 4 months, kind of just depending on where she's at, where we're going to kind of respond to her cues with this. Although she's starting to exhibit symptoms of being ready to potty train, and I'm like, glory! So yeah, if you have ideas or tips or thoughts, feel free to leave them below. I would love that, and I'm sure other people who are watching this would also appreciate that as well. And I don't know, stay tuned here in a couple months. Maybe we'll do a video on how potty training went for us. But thanks so much, guys, for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. If you haven't checked us out on Facebook, go ahead and jump on over there. If you have a Facebook, we're over there posting content every day, hanging out. We'd love to have you over there. We'd also like to invite you to be a subscriber. We've got lots of videos. We do lots of videos. We'd love to have you join with us as well. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are all doing really well. I hope that you're having a wonderful summer. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.